Ben. Better? Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, leave it right there. Well, greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Fieldhouse Crimson Cliffs for Region 9 basketball here exclusively on the Fan Sports Network, your home for local high school basketball. Devin Dixon, Ben Lindquist. It's our Boulevard home game of the week, and we've got a good one, Ben. We've got the 9-5 Thunder taking on the 8-5 Mustangs, but more importantly, both these teams come in undefeated in Region 9 play.
Yeah, this I think is the matchup of the week, Dev. These are two teams that are hot. They're both 3-0 in region, and this is a game, if you recall, the last 2 years, 2 years ago it came down to that controversial goaltending call, and then last year it came down to a backdoor play to Trevor Taylor and a full court up the length of the side of the court call that didn't get called, and Crimson won those last two. And so they split last year, home and home, and this is a game that I think is one of the premier rivalries in Region 9.
Going to be a lot of fun, lots to get to, lots to break down. We got plenty of time here, still 13 minutes plus the intros and the anthem away from tip-off. And both these teams can gain a lot of momentum and a lot of traction in the month of January, Ben. Games come fast and furious in Region 9 play.
Yeah, if you look across the region, what's most interesting to me, we talked about it at Media Day, and we're going to talk about it all the way to the final week of the season. Some teams have 4 games in 6 days. Pineview has an incredibly busy last week of the season where they play, I think they play 5 games in like 8 days. Crimson will play 4 games. They play a Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, the second to last week. So what's most interesting about that to me is that no matter where you're at, the last 2 weeks of region, if you're in that 3rd or 4th spot, you have a real chance to come back and actually win the region by going, 4-1 or 3-1. And so, that's just not how it's been the last couple of years. You've had the dominance of Dixie and their region championships the last few years. And so this year it's just so much more wide open. And tonight we're going to see the very first undefeated team of this little group go down.
Not the only game we're doing tonight. Those of you watching on YouTube or the fansportsnetwork.com, we've got the Pineview Dixie game going on the live stream as well tonight. So a doubleheader for us. That's a big game over at the Pit. And, of course, we'll keep eyes on that one. The other game tonight, as you look around the region, is 2 teams that are desperately needing a win, Ben. We got Snow Canyon and Cedar, both yet to grab a region win. So that's going to be an important one for both squads.
Yeah, and I think that will be both of those teams this year are just down talent-wise from where they've been in the past. They were blessed at Snow Canyon to have guys like Owen Mackey and Hammer Kid and the Simmons kid. They've just had so much great talent out of Snow Canyon, and this year they're just down a little bit, but they got a lot of youth. I think there's a lot of guys on that roster that as the season progresses, you're going to see Snow Canyon get a little bit better. I like Snow Canyon probably in both of those matchups, but you can never count Cedar out because of how aggressive and how hard they play.
It's all built by Bucks Ace Hardware here inside our pregame show. Bucks Ace Hardware, 3 Southern Utah locations, including the brand new store out in Hurricane. If you haven't been out there, go check it out and think Bucks for all your needs around the house, around the yard, around the workplace. Looking at the RPI rankings, Dixie goes into play tonight at number 4, Hurricane is 6, Pineview is 7, and then Desert Hills is 12 and Crimson is 13. So we could see a big shuffle tonight with those teams. I mean, 5 teams in Region 9 all in the top 13.
And this is one of those nights that I wish we were calling both the games, because I wish it was a back-to-back doubleheader, because that Pineview-Dixie game that Caden and Paulie are at, and they're going to be having that on the stream, of course, on the Fan Sports Network. Dev, that's going to be a great one, because you got an undefeated Pineview team. They're off to one of their best starts in probably the last 3 or 4 years, and they have a chance to go to 4-0 and really put a little bit of a catch up in Dixie's step, because Dixie will then have lost 2 region games, perhaps the earliest they have in the last 5 or 6 years.
That's a great point.
Imagine week 2 of region and they've lost 2 games. It just doesn't happen on the planet Earth.
Yeah, that's a really good matchup. By the way, Pineview, for the first time since 2018, so 7 seasons, has cracked the Des News top 5 for a poll. They come in this week at number 4, and so maybe a slight home favorite is Pineview tonight. Dixie on the road. If Tyson Forsey gets hot, though, anything can happen. So that should be a good one. We'll keep eyes on that game tonight. Let's bring it back to this game tonight. There's a lot of things to talk about. Let's start breaking it down. When we come back from a break, we're going to dive into our keys to the game here at the Field House, as I like to call it. It's our Boulevard Home Game of the Week. Back in a flash after this 2-minute timeout.
Need an appliance or two? AWP's got you. Check out the remodeled expansive showroom, highlighting the Cafe series with colors like matte black, matte white, and modern glass. Make your kitchen stand out. Come see the local boys at AWP across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart.
Welcome to the Back Nine. We bring the world's best courses to you. Elevate your game at any time with 24/7 access to top-tier golf technology and expert PGA instructors available. Back Nine Golf is a place to improve your swing for all ages. Join us today.
Best Friends Animal Sanctuary in Kanab is open daily for free family fun. Take a tour, volunteer, hike a trail, or bring home a new best friend. Visit Best Friends today for magical memories that'll last forever.
Create your own relaxing, comfortable space. Boulevard Home offers the guaranteed best prices on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. And buy with no interest financing. Shop Boulevard Home, because home is who we are.
You could wander around a warehouse store forever and never find the one thing that could make all the difference. A helpful face? Now that's something to consider. Everything your local Bucks Ace stands for is written on our faces. Welcoming, neighborly, knowledgeable. When you're in need of a helpful face, visit one of our 3 Southern Utah locations.
Your child's sports journey starts with the City of St. George Recreation. From their first steps on the court or field to becoming a star player, our youth sports programs are here to develop talents and teamwork skills. So get out and play. Check out all the sports and get signed up at sgcityrec.org.
Today's game is brought to you by Boulevard Home, Wilkinson's House of Lighting, Coral Canyon Golf Course, and City of St. George Recreation.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Crimson Cliffs taking on Desert Hills in our Boulevard Home Game of the Week. Pre-game coverage brought to you by Sport Court of Southern Utah. See what Sport Court can do. Turn your backyard into the ultimate playground with their multi-purpose courts. Think about it. Basketball courts so the kids can get shots. Pickleball courts so you can have some family fun year-round. Get a quote from the team at their new design center on Old Highway 91 and turn your backyard into a playground. Devin Dixon, Ben Lindquist. Let's take a look at our keys to the game tonight, Ben. And a lot of things you could go with, but a couple things, and it's brought to you by Everbowl. It's where St. George gets their superfoods fix.
Absolutely. Desert Hills, of course, they've worked all season long on not giving up easy buckets, and that's never been more important than it is tonight, because Crimson finds a way to get some easy buckets, especially in that transition, which is one of the things, the number 2 key. They're going to have to try and find a way to stop that transition. One of the best ways to do that, of course, is to get offensive rebounds, but to also make sure you're making shots on your end too, because if they can do that, they can control that tempo, they can set up some junk presses and do some other good things defensively. And then lastly, on this offensive end, and that's the limiting of the turnovers. You know, Desert Hills, they've got a little bit of a newer starting lineup this season, and so you're still we're just the first week into January, you're going to have some of those mistakes still, especially coming back from the holiday break. You know, these teams have not had multiple days of practice. I think Crimson has had 2 days of practice since they played last, and so you definitely want to make sure that you don't come out and start sloppy. As you move to the Crimson side, their pressure defense has been the key. When they're able to play defense, when they're able to rebound and get out into their own transition, they're at their very best. But that's one of the things that's hurt them, is limiting those offensive rebounds. They've been able to get stops, but have struggled to make sure they maintain that defensive rebound, allowing extra possessions, of course, for their opponent.
And Desert Hills on that point, Ben, they've got a couple guys that hit the offensive glass pretty well. I mean, Rasmussen, almost 2 offensive rebounds a game. Andrus, 2.5. I don't know how much time he'll get tonight. Openshaw, 2.1 rebounds a game. And as a team, almost 10 a game.
Yeah, and so when you think about that's 10 extra possessions that you're giving your team and that you're giving up as an opponent. And so you just see how important it is finding your guy, boxing him out, and then releasing to the ball. You know, it's the thing I try and tell kids all the time about when they play more athletic teams or when they try and aspire to get to the next level. You're gonna have such great athletes that you can't out-jump them. You gotta find them and stick to the fundamentals of boxing them out. The last key, Devin, of course, with Crimson, when they're able to move the ball, when they don't care who gets the shots, when they make the right reads, they're extremely difficult to guard. They're returning 3 starters this year. They have a lot of bench experience. They got a lot of JV guys that get a lot of minutes and a lot of rhythm. There's a lot of talent on this team. When they move the ball, they are one of the best in Region 9.
That is your Everbowl. Keys to the game. Everbowl, go check them out. They got acai bowls, smoothies. They got brand new sips. Go try a sip tomorrow morning. They're packed with superfoods to fool your day. Proudly serving the St. George Community Everbowl, where St. George gets their superfood fix. Lots to talk about, a lot of fun, and we're closing in about 2.5 minutes before introductions and our anthem. Ben, you know, let's take a look at our Findlay Subaru Star Watch. Give me one guy for each team, starting with the Thunder, you think will be an X factor tonight.
I'll start with Crimson. I think Drake Carroll really is one of the big X factors in the region. You know, he's able to score it. He's so good on defense, but his real superpower is when he's moving the ball. He's able to get into that second layer of the defense, and when he can get in there, and when a second guy comes over to pick him up and he can find the next guy and not force those shots, he's a complete player. If you move over to Desert Hills, you've got a guy in the big lefty, Ben Chase, who I think is Desert Hills goes will be determined on how he goes. If he's able to get into the paint, utilize that left hand, his length and athleticism, and then if he can hit 2 or 3 threes in this game, I think that opens up everything for him. And so let's really watch that. If he's able to knock down that 3 tonight and get some open looks, it kind of fuels everything else that he does.
I'll throw in another guy for each team, but I like your picks. They're really solid, spot on. Both guys can really put this team on their shoulders. Drake Carroll, by the way, 5 assists a game. That puts him 5th in the state, and he's leading all of 4A in steals. He's the leader in the entire state.
You know, for a lot of years, it was Scoop Johnson. That I would say if I was an offensive player, that's the one guy that I didn't want to have pick me up full court. This year, it's Drake Carroll. He just has another level of intensity and athleticism and ball hawking, as we call it, where if he gets on you, he's going to be disruptive. He's going to make you do things that you don't want to do, and he tries to do it the entire game. There's some guys you play with over the years that they come out first 2 or 3 minutes, they're all aggressive and doing all that stuff, and then by the middle of the second quarter, end of the first quarter, they're back to just playing OKD because they start to get fatigued. He will give you 28 minutes of in-your-face end line to end line defense.
The other guys, watch out for McKay Lindquist, comes in averaging 14 points per game, and Matt can score at all three levels, also 1.7 steals a game. So he's a very capable defender, and he's in the top 12 or 13 in 4A in that department as well. And then a guy that's really caught my eye lately shooting the basketball, Freeman Springer. Watch out for him tonight. If Crimson leaves him alone, he can get hot. Those would be some guys that you could also, make a case for at the end of the night as our Findlay Subaru star of the game. We'll name that in our post-game show. By the way, this is the debut of the brand new purples. Desert Hills, the school, approved purple as a new school color, and they're rolling these out on the road for the first time tonight, Ben.
Yeah, those look fantastic. We got the hills right across the chest against the cliffs. I love the nicknames. I love the alternate jerseys. This is what kids get excited about, and as a fan, I'm all about it.
Brian Young is the PA announcer here. He's asking people to get on their feet. So we're going to step aside. We're going to take a break. We're going to have our national anthem. When we come back, the House of Jump starting lineup and the tip. It's the Hills and the Cliffs live on the Fan Sports Network. Stay with us, everybody.
We love giving back to our community, and over the years, we have provided vehicles for families in need, supported local charities, and helped train our first responders. Dealer Collision, your place for collision repair.
Remember when Down East was all scratch and dent furniture? Your go-to for dorm rooms, kids' rooms, and first homes? Well, the times have changed and Down East has changed with you. Down East is proud to offer our beautiful collection of high-quality furniture designed to elevate.
Hey, St. George, this is Brian. I'm the new owner of your local Everbowl. Looking for a delicious, nutritious meal? Come to Everbowl. Our acai bowls are packed with superfoods to fuel your day. And it's where Region 9 sports fans fuel up.
Fabulous Freddy's is the locals' choice for a full-service car wash. It's fast. Have your car washed in just 20 minutes or less. Fabulous Freddy's always keeps it clean inside and out with 2 Southern Utah locations as well as in Vegas, Lehigh, and Sandy.
At Great Harvest, we believe in crafting more than just bread. We provide crisp, garden-fresh salads and savory sandwiches. Everything from garden-fresh ingredients to our signature handcrafted bread. Our friendly staff will guide you to find a meal that will leave you craving seconds. At Great Harvest, we truly provide something for everyone. And don't forget our baked goods. Satisfy your sweet tooth and finish your meal with a brownie or cinnamon roll. Come visit us at Great Harvest.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much, except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit holbrookasphalt.com to discover more.
Hello, sports fans. It's Boo and Nick from Honolulu Grill. Come get a taste of the islands. Try our famous Kahlua pork or tender teriyaki chicken, and you'll love our mac salad and sweet sauce on your rice. Don't forget to try our original Kava 8 at Honolulu Grill. It's game time.
At Intermountain Sports Performance, we've been training athletes for over 20 years, and we guarantee your athlete will improve speed, agility, explosive power, and reduce the risk of injury while working with the most qualified and experienced team in Southern Utah. Find us on Instagram at sportsperformance_IH to learn more.
Huge news! Sport Court has a brand new showroom and design center, and it's next level. See why so many are choosing Sport Court here in Southern Utah for top quality basketball, pickleball, and multi-purpose courts. Learn more at sportcourtofsouthernutah.com.
Today's game is brought to you by Appliance Wholesalers Plus, Buck's Ace Hardware, Dealer Collision, and Findlay Subaru.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Beautiful rendition by one of the cheerleaders of our national anthem. I almost wish, I do wish that I would have stayed live for that, but a great opportunity there to get a break, get a message from our great local partners. Got a lot of great men and women around the Southern Utah business community supporting our coverage here on the Fan Sports Network. Glad you're with us on YouTube. You can link to this game or the Dixie Pineview game. Got a double dip tonight on the fansportsnetwork.com, or you can stay with us on radio here on 95.3, 99.5, or 93.1 up in Cedar City. We will get you the rink Region 9 updates all night long on other games, but if you're in the right spot if you're looking for Desert Hills and Crimson Cliffs. All right, let's get to the starting lineups tonight, brought to you by the House of Jump. Thunder, this is pretty much their usual starting five, although Springer didn't start early before Christmas, but he's worked his way into the starting lineup. Mason Rasmussen, Chaz Holbrook, Freeman Springer, Ben Chase, who you picked as the Star Watch, brought to you by Finley Subaru, and Big Jack Openshaw. Tell me a little bit about Jack. I know you know his game and you like what he brings to the table.
Yeah, I had a chance to coach Jack in the offseason along with Chaz. And Jack's a big, strong body, used to be a football player, fell in love with basketball, and he's really developed a soft touch around the hoop. He's got great footwork. He's a guy that's going to body you, get those offensive rebounds. He can finish with both hands, and really a solid big man in the region.
The starters for the Cliffs, Drake Carroll. Ben loves his on-ball defense. Nobody better in the region. Trevor Taylor, who's filling up, he's top in the state, top 20 in like 4 statistical categories: steals, rebounds, assists, field goal percentage. And then you got J.J. Eaton, McKay Lindquist, and Travis Murdoch. And Lindquist and Murdoch have done the bulk of the scoring. But if you add McKay and Travis and Drake's points together, over 35 a night between those 3 guys.
Yeah, and that's, really it's going to be one of those guys who's got to have a big night. If both of them can kind of get to their average and Drake can have a great game, and then you get a couple of chippies from Trevor and Jaden in transition, who's a great scrappy offensive player, that's going to be a nice recipe for success. When you look at Desert Hills in this lineup, like you said, Freeman working his way into the lineup, Mason Rasmussen, those are the guys, Dev. I think it's going to be really interesting tonight to see if the Desert Hills can get, 2 threes from each of those guys, and then get a couple from Ben Chase. If you can see them get to that 8 to 10 sweet spot, it just opens up so much more for the rest of their offense.
And it'll be interesting to see, you're in the harder region play. These games mean a ton, so you might only bring 2 or 3 guys off the bench, but what kind of production do each team get from the bench tonight? That could be important. You got guys like Phillips that could bring some energy and some size for Crimson Cliffs, and then you got a couple of guys that can come off the bench for Desert Hills and give you a little spark.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Crimson tightens up the rotation. They've had their JV team plays a lot of minutes. They've got their full squad together. They had some sicknesses. They had some people out of town. And so I think really you're going to see a tighter rotation for both of these teams in this big Region 9 rivalry.
It's a big tilt. Tip is brought to you by Down East Outlets. Big savings, up to 45% off right now, and we are underway. And it will be Crimson wearing the white with the red, going right to left on your radio dial with the ball first. Desert Hills wearing the new purple jerseys, working left to right on your radio dial. Carroll down the lane, left side, scores it off the window.
Great sign for Crimson already as he gets an easy look in the paint, and they are able to throw their press on and put a little bit of pressure right out of the gate.
You can watch that Carroll, he just would not stop and was absolutely going to get to the bucket. Shot won't go for the Thunder. Lindquist out top, kicks it to JJ, down to TT. Trev, one-hand whip, looked like Draymond Green. Murdoch 3, nothing but the bottom. A Nets on fire 3 for Travis Murdoch.
I watched him warm up. Boy, he sure shoots it well, and when he's in rhythm, I think he's the best shooter, catch and shoot in the region.
See if we get the PIP, top of your screen. This is the 3, and the bottom of the screen, live action.
All set up by Trevor Taylor on that swing pass out of the post. So we see Jack go down on the block here. This will be a great matchup to watch.
Went to the left hand, but too strong. Rebound, Crimson. They want to push. Drake tries to kick it out. Last touch by who? And it was last touch by Ben Chase.
And see, that's the one that I'm talking about. He knows he's got Lindquist traveling behind him. Go pivot, drop it back to him, get the wide open shot. There was a guy right in front of him. When he can develop that, because he attracts so much attention, Crimson will be hard to beat.
Out top, Murdoch. McKay on the wing. JJ looking for a drop down to Drake. It's not there.
And that's something they'll do a lot. They like to post him up and get some mismatches in the block.
Springer probably only given up an inch or two. Pretty close to the same height at a glance. Ball knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Cliffs.
Hard to adjust to these purple jerseys. I kind of like them though, Dev.
They're sharp. Yeah, I dig them. I think the kids like them too. I saw the Instagram post from the Desert Hills basketball account, and it was pretty cool little post flashing all the guys wearing them in team pictures. The debut tonight. Carroll, mid-range J2 short, rebound, a three from JJ, that won't go, and finally a defensive rebound cleared by Mason Rasmussen.
And not a bad shot, but when you get that extra possession, make it a great shot. Make them pay. You have all the momentum. Be a little more patient this early in the game.
Shot clock, plenty time for Chase, gonna kick to the corner. Out top, high arcing three, too strong from Rasmussen. Holbrook goes and gets the rebound. Chaz trying to break out of a couple rough shooting games, but he averages almost 9 points a contest. See if he can catch some fire tonight.
And one of the keys to the game, Devils, those offensive rebounds, as we see it already have an impact early in the game.
Chase three, ricochets off the rim, no good. Running ahead, J.J. Eaton lay in, yes, and one! Crimson running and gunning. They got a 7-0 lead and an and one opportunity for the Mustangs.
And if you're Crimson, you could not have had a better start to the game. If you're Desert Hills, you've really got to make sure that you go down. This is one where, I know Coach Allred and Coach Hokinson are over there saying, okay, let's call a great play down here on this other side. See if we can get an easy look to stop the momentum.
JJ, he's got a quick three now. 3 different Mustangs have scored, and the Thunder, against this pressure defense, really need to settle in and get in a good offensive set on this possession.
Absolutely, and we'll see if they're going to go a little one-on-one or if they'll try and get a set here.
Chaz out top, kicks it to Springer. Oh, he lost it right through the wickets. Out of bounds, turnover, second of the night. Or was that the first? I'm trying to recall. Rough start for the Thunder. They're going to go to the bench already and bring in Luke Terry.
Yeah, and I think, you kind of have to. There's two thoughts, right? You say, okay, let's let them play through it, or hey, let's hurry and disrupt this thing before this thing slips to 12.
Coach Allred talking with Springer. They're having a conversation on the bench. Doing a little coaching. Coach Chris Allred's coached about every sport over the years. Baseball, boys and girls basketball. I think he's assisted in some other sports too. Inside, tough shot won't go from JJ, and rebound by Rasmussen. Money Mace will give it up to Chase. Chase right down the lane. Tries to one-hand whip it through the legs of J.J. Eaton, and it goes out of bounds. It'll stay with the Hills.
And it'll be interesting.
You got me on this Hills and Cliffs thing now.
I know.
You mentioned it once.
Well, they got it on their jersey.
I know.
Come on.
I like it, though.
This will be interesting to watch with Chase. He's so left-hand dominant. It'll be really important to see if Crimson can make him go to that offhand, as he's so difficult to guard going to his left.
Driving the lane and a whistle and a foul.
And speaking of dominant hand, that's exactly what I'm talking about. 9 out of 10 high school players are so good going to their strong hand and not very good going to their weak hand, as Lindquist gives up the right hand dribble into the paint, results in a foul. 2 shots for Chaz Holbrook. And a chance really at this point, Dev, to get at least a point on the board at the halfway mark of the first quarter. 4:41, it's 8-0, soonly 8-1.
Yeah. Got it to go. Chaz will have one more. Chaz is a lot different player. You remember Boston Holbrook graduated from Desert Hills a couple years ago. Completely, they're both guards, but Boston was a little sturdier, a little stockier. Chaz is more of your quick, speedy, typical point guard.
He's a true point guard. His brother Boston was more of a kind of a playmaking 3 or a 2, not necessarily a pure 1.
Drake Carroll on the drive. It's an 8-2 game. Second Finley Subaru free throw goes, or Fabulous Freddy's free throw goes in. And now we got a jump ball. Tie up on the floor. And I believe it'll
go back to Desert Hills. Crimson got the jump. And again, a little bit of momentum. 8-2 at the halfway mark in the first quarter. This will give Crimson an opportunity to throw on a little bit of full court pressure. It'll be interesting to see how Coach Murdoch uses maybe some of their presses and some of their zones as they do some really interesting things on defense.
Chaz guarded by McKay Lindquist, and these guys are good friends, and they play a lot together in the offseason. Now they're going toe-to-toe in a Region 9 showdown tonight. Chaz, they switch. Now Taylor guarding Holbrook. He's got 10 on the shot clock, lost the handle. Turnover for the Thunder. They're second in their last 3 possessions. Now Murdoch needs some help. Skips it over to McKay. McKay back to Murdoch. Turns, goes to the left hand with the right hand, goes to the shoulder, but still scores it with the right hand. That was a pretty move.
Great post-up move. He's so hard to guard, especially when you get a foot in the paint.
Let's see if we caught that. Take another look at this Murdoch bucket. They trap open shot in the corner. There's the bucket moments ago. And now we've got a tie up.
Looks like they're going to get it. We're going to have it back this way with a jump ball.
Really good defense by Lindquist getting in there and tying Jack up. They know each other well too.
Yeah, against teammates in the summer, and Jack's such a great kid. I mean, really, you know, his physical presence might intimidate, but he is one of the great kids.
Who else was on that team that's on the floor? Was Murdoch on that?
Britton and
Phillips?
Travis Murdoch. We had.
That's the Ignite AAU team out of Nets on Fire, right?
Yep. Yeah, and we had Colin Simmons from Dixie.
Oh, yeah.
Caleb Schmidt from Pineview.
Good little shooter. He's shooting well.
Yeah. And
you
can see here with Murdoch, he's just got such a nose for getting shots off. He has a tendency to force a couple of them sometimes, but when you're able to get that ball in the spots, it's hard not to take the bait and shoot some of those. He's off to a great start right now. When he gets open looks, when he's aggressive, he can fill it up.
No question about it. He'll head to the Fabulous Freddy's free throw line. Make sure you save on gas with every car wash, and if you join their Unlimited Car Wash Club monthly, you get even bigger savings. And you can join for the price of a single wash. Check it out at both Southern Utah Fabulous Freddy's, Bluff Street and River Road. First free throw is good. One more and nothing but net on the second one as well.
And he's got an early 7 of those 12 Crimson points. 10-point lead with 3 minutes left. We see Jack Openshaw off the floor, and it looks like Skylar Kohler is going to be taking his spot. We talked about maybe would they go small on the bench or big. Desert Hills has gone to, I think, 7 guys now already.
Yeah, that's right. So Sawyer Kohler in with Ben Chase. You still have Luke Terry out there, and then Chaz Mason. Also, 2 of the other starters in this game. Chase really hasn't got much going. Hasn't even had a shot. Instead, he'll go out to Terry, and he rips the cords. There's a right angle 3, and now a tip and a steal. First steal of the night. Rasmussen a 3, and that's a quick 6-0 spurt for the Thunder. Back-to-back. Nets on fire triples.
I just said a 10-point game, and suddenly it's a 4-point game. But that's the thing, is limiting those turnovers is so critical in these 32-minute ball games.
12-8, just like that. And the lead is down to 4. Inside, beautiful pass, Lindquist to Carroll. Carroll scores the bucket right at the rim.
And really a great play. Lindquist has such good court vision, and Carroll made a great basket cut off of that top screen at the elbow.
Chase kicks it out top to Terry. Over to Chaz Holbrook. Holbrook triple threat position, still has his dribble, now he uses it. Right to the middle of the floor. Turnaround mid-range Jay, short. And Rasmussen hustling, and a whistle and a foul, gonna be called a loose ball foul on the Thunder. And it's going on Sawyer Kohler, I believe, his first personal foul. And that is the 3rd on the Thunder here in the quarter. Nobody in real foul trouble yet. Just 1 for the Mustangs. Drake will get a break. Hokinson will check in for Coach Scott Murdoch.
And a little bit of a familiarity, if you will, with Coach Hokinson and his nephew on the opposing team, Will Hokinson.
Same name.
Yeah, that's uncle.
Yeah. Is it William? Oh, it's William Hokinson.
Yeah, probably named after.
They're both called Will.
Will must have been a pretty good uncle or brother. I don't know.
Yeah. Probably saved his brother's life swimming or something in Connecticut. We are live here on the Fan Sports Network. 1:25 left to go here in quarter number 1. 6-point lead for the Mustangs, and they have the possession. Shot clock down to 12. Hokinson and Rasmussen on the court. And is it a tie-up again? If so, that is the 3rd jump ball in the last minute.
Yeah, and you know, look, this is where when you have Drake off the court, someone has to step up and be the dominant player that kind of directs traffic and takes over a little bit and runs the offense.
Out top Terry, hand flip, Kohler. Straight away Springer. Jack now back to the basket, waiting for some cuts to develop, nothing there. He'll kick back out to Springer.
A little bit of a mismatch here. Trevor does a great job of getting back on Openshaw on the switch on the ball screen.
Rasmussen just hit a 3, but he'll give it up. He wants it. You could kind of see it and feel it, but he misfires. And rebound TT. Here comes Hoke.
I like TT.
Yeah.
T-square.
The TT Coupe de Ville. Corner pocket three won't go for Murdoch. Hot start for Murdoch, but can't find the range on that one.
Desert Hills can't give him that shot. He's just too good of a shooter. You leave him open in the corner, he thinks shot first every single time.
About a 5-second differential, shot and quarter clock here. 14-8 our score. Down to 22. Still working around the perimeter. Kohler through his legs, Lindquist in his hip pocket. Needs some help as he terminates. Kick from Terry, corner pocket three, Springer no, and they'll get the last possession. They got 7. Offensive rebound, one of the keys for the Mustangs. Now Terry, got to shoot it quick. Instead it'll be Rasmussen, high arcing three at the horn, and he got it. 3 triples in the last 2 minutes have cut the lead down to 14-11 on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard. I'm entertained.
Great first quarter, but if you're Desert Hills, you're thinking you just dodged a bullet, only down 3 after the Crimson hot start. Expect to see Drake Carroll back in the game here with that short breather.
Threes were falling, and we'll come back after this timeout. Message from our great local partners. Mustangs lead by 3 on the Fan Sports Network.
Nets on Fire is the place to hoop in Southern Utah. Elevate your game with group or individual training with elite coaching. Hustle to netsonfire.org to learn more and see why so many rising stars hoop at Nets. Nets on Fire, building champions on and off the court.
Own property and want to rent it? Then you need the right team with 11 years of local experience, a staff of over 25 employees, and a 4.9 Google rating. Aim to maximize your rental income and find quality tenants while keeping turnover low to increase your revenue and truly maintain your property. Learn more at redrockpropertymanagement.com.
Hi, I'm Jermaine O'Jegma from The Rink, and I'm inviting you to come out and skate The Rink. The Rink is the hot spot in town for big group events and kid birthday parties. We now have a karaoke room and retro skate night every Friday night. Visit skatetherink.com to learn more and let the good times roll at The Rink.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Start of quarter number 2. Devin Dixon, Ben Lindquist here in the Grass Creek Construction broadcast booth. A couple scores quickly. Pineview leading Dixie early in the second quarter, 21-13. Latest score we have. And Snow Canyon at the end of the first quarter was leading by 1 over Cedar. So all the games are still kind of getting going. It's a 3-point lead here. Crimson with the basketball. And Murdoch threw it way too far down the baseline. It goes out of bounds. And that's a turnover by the Mustangs. I think that's their first turnover of the game, though.
First turnover of the game. It's 2-1. So turnovers really have been limited for the most part. And this will give chance with the dead ball baseline out of bounds for Crimson to throw a little full court pressure on again. As you can see, their mentality is to pick them up full court.
Again, go back to our Everbowl keys to the game, and handling that pressure was key number 1 for the Thunder. And so far, 2 turnovers. I think Coach Allred would take it. Open shot, lost it, but flips it outside. Now terminating, giving it back up to Springer. Into the game there is Spence. Spence with it now. Kicks to Chaz. Holbrook triple threat. Puts it on a bounce. Working on Murdoch. Up and under. And the shot clock violation. No, they say rebound came first. Crimson quickly had Lindquist. Good look at a 3. Splash! McKay Lindquist, and that's on fire 3. Nothing but the bottom.
And a great transition look up the court from Trevor Taylor. Maybe the other X factor for this Crimson team, who just seems to kind of do it all. Blocks, rebounds, plays defense, and throws up the assists.
Yeah,
I like the no hesitation there from Lindquist. Sometimes he takes it and doesn't quite be aggressive enough, but that time he let it fly.
Good Holbrook asphalt replay, good analysis. And now Chaz Holbrook with 12 on the shot clock. And we got an off-ball hole down low. Lindquist fighting with Openshaw. Openshaw's probably got, what, 2 inches on McKay? Jack 6'5", McKay 6'3" right now, Ben? That about right?
Yeah, about maybe 6'2", 6'3" in those new Kobe's he's wearing.
Those are nice.
And that's his second foul. And it looks like
Christmas red,
Coach
it looks
Mortensen made sure and got Scott's attention there to let him know that he's got 2. I think this is a little, I think you got to let guys play through it a little bit.
Especially
2
where
fouls.
he just hit the 3.
Yeah, so to me that's a little bit, it's a 50-50 call. But when you've got a guy like JJ waiting there, it's not a bad idea.
Sometimes the rotation is the rotation and the fouls are the fouls. And there's still 6:20. I think we'll see McKay again in the quarter. Inside Jack has it poked away by Trevor. Now Over to Spence. Spence, hard drive, and there's a foul on Britton Phillips.
And this is a little bit of what I'm talking about, is you can't give up that strong hand, right? Make a guy just, Dev, if I'm guarding you, make him just light up and raise up and let that thing go right in front of your face.
Kind of bail them out.
Yeah, I mean, they can do that at that college, the top tier college. They can certainly do it in the NBA. You got guys, Jason Tatum, guys like that are just shot makers. But in high school, anytime you let a guy put it on the strong hand, going right where he wants to go, you're either going to get a foul or he's going to get a shot in the paint.
Spence misfires on the first Fabulous Freddy's free throw. He's only played in 7 of the 14 games. He's only played 23 minutes all season and scored 13 points. So hasn't seen a lot of time, and now he's going to get the second free throw and then check out. So Rasmussen gets a quick break, and he's back onto the floor. And now you've got the starting 5 back out there at the 6:16 mark in quarter number 2 for Coach Allred and the Thunder. Carroll driving, kicking to the wing to JJ. Whole starting 5's out there, except you've got Britton Phillips in and Mikhail Lindquist on the bench right now with those 2 fouls. And there's a little fadeaway, and it finds the well for Drake Carroll.
And a nice start to the second quarter, 19-12, just under 6 minutes, Dev. I think, man, we thought that Crimson could potentially kind of stretch that thing to 10-15, and just like that, Desert Hills settled in, made some threes, and is back in this ball game.
Openshaw has it knocked out of bounds, still 18 on the shot clock. Again, Wilkes' scoreboard, 19-12. It was just 14-11, so a little 5-1 run here after Desert Hills closed on an 8-2 run in the quarter. Springer, nice move, but he can't finish.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. When guys go to their left, they're just not used to doing it. So.
Oh, Phillips blocked away. Ben Chase with the swat. Offensive rebounds, 3 by Murdoch. That won't go.
Couple of, this is a little bit what we expected, Dev, a back and forth.
And there is Ben Chase doing it with the defense on one end, the offense on the other end.
And it looks like a ski sail right there, as we've got a yard sale, on the ski slopes, as we've got a collision. 2 Desert Hills players hit the deck, and 1 Crimson player's left to say, I think I was fouled.
You mentioned it earlier. They'll make Ben go right. He did go to the right and was still able to score from that right side.
And came back to his left hand. Again,
correct.
And that's where his length and athleticism is such a factor. Obviously a strong basketball family. His big brother was a great player, and it looks like they're going to call an offensive foul, from what I can gather, on Jaden Eaton.
Yeah, JJ
and
gets
so that'll be
personal.
turnover number 2.
It's been well played, though. Both teams with just 2 turnovers. Holbrook and the Thunder down 19-14 with possession here. Still 5 minutes and 5 seconds to go here in the first half in our Boulevard Home Game of the Week. Making your house more of a home for over 50 years by Smart by At the Boulevard. Uh-oh, he hops and jumped there and just changed the pivot foot. It's a travel. That's turnover number 3, Ben Chase. Forgot to put it on the deck.
And
you see that call more and more in the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, the fundamentals in footwork the last 10 years is just really kind of eroded. He has good footwork, but it's just kind of every kid kind of gets into that hop. And it's when you got a guy lifted in the air on a shot fake. Great play here, by the way. They get a little on the block to Britton for that 2-point. And those are again, this is when Crimson is so hard to guard, because they can post you up. They can go inside out. They can put it on the deck. And they're great shooters, so if you help, they're going to find the open guys. Britton Phillips gets a little bit of help there from Travis Murdoch on the pass.
Openshaw backing his way down, goes up and under, scores it and 1. And he flexes the right bicep after he scores it. And Openshaw's going to the line, and his biceps are bigger than mine.
Yeah,
I see it, Jack.
Yeah, normally I would say, on the ref's talking
and he's
to him
saying,
right now.
hey,
and
I'm warning you.
Yeah, hey, look, you do have the biggest biceps on the court, but we got to make sure you tone it down. We don't want to have to give you.
And he didn't glare at anybody, so I like the warning instead of a quick.
I'm okay with a little flex.
Yeah, it's a big game.
You know, what I don't like is the too small. I think that's
like
a little more like derogatory. You know, it's a little more. But
in the NBA and college, okay, fine. Not at high school.
It's
not
like
at high school.
What I'm more interested in is Jack knocks down that free throw for a 4-point lead for Crimson now, is when guys can actually play defense. Guys will go down, get a foul, flex, do the too small, and then they'll go down and give up a 3 right on their face.
and then they get the finger whack back at him like in the old days.
It's like play defense consistently and get some buckets, and then we'll talk.
21-17 Mustangs halfway through the second quarter here at the Field House. Cliffs with the possession. The debut of the purple jerseys. Looking good. D. Hills. And on deflection, nearly a steal, but he'll stay with the Mustangs. Chase got his hands in the passing lane.
2 seconds left here on the shot clock. I would post up somebody like, well, Trevor's going to take it out, but I'd try and get something coming off of this block, maybe a little elevator screen up at the junction, but
Drake will take a fadeaway three, but he left it short, and it's a shot clock violation. He had to shoot that one from deep. And a good defensive possession there by Desert Hills.
And you called it, Dev. We'll see Lindquist come in for Murdoch. And certainly he's got to be careful here. This is where maybe you go into a little bit of a zone, maybe protect a guy or two, just to make sure that you don't lose a guy like Trevor Taylor picking up his second, trying to get an open shot.
Yeah, good call. We'll see if they attack Lindquist here. Chaz has the ball. He's guarded by McKay. Now they switch. McKay picked up. Now they want to switch. You see McKay wanting to switch back there. You don't have to try to muscle with Jack. You're more likely to pick one against Jack than you are Chaz, right? Now Rasmussen beats Drake off the dribble and gets to the rack, and Drake fouls him. You don't see that very often, Drake getting beat on the dribble drive.
Yeah, and that's, Jay Wright from Villanova said it best. He said, you're never more open than when you first catch the ball, and we missed it on the replay there, but what he did, as soon as he caught it, you just move quick. That rip through or that jab step, it'll free you up. And these high school players, they have a tendency when they get the ball, they kind of sit and size it up. Be in that triple threat, be ready to go the second you get it.
Rasmussen from the Fabulous Freddy's free throw line. It's good. Tonight's game brought to you by Dealer Collision Center, Southern Utah's choice for collision repair. Proud sponsor of our hit of the game. We have a big charge block brought to you all season long by Dealer Collision. Timeout on the court. 21-19. Lead is 2 for Crimson Cliffs with 3:13 left in the second quarter. Back after a 30-second timeout.
Wander around a warehouse store forever and never find the one thing that can make all the difference. A helpful face? Now that's something to consider. Everything your local Bucks A stands for is written on our faces. Welcoming, neighborly, knowledgeable. When you're in need of a helpful face, visit one of our 3 Southern Utah locations.
Hey, it's Luke with Udine Associates at American Family Insurance. At Udine Associates, we love insurance so you don't have to. With a quick call, we can get you an instant quote with the right coverages. My team of licensed agents are ready to help you with better insurance from American Family. Give us a call at 435-251-9102.
Today's game is brought to you by Down East, House of Jump, Udine Associates, and Best Friends Animal Sanctuary.
Crimson basketball here. 3:05 to go. Welcome back. Devin Dixon, Ben Lindquist, Grass Creek Construction broadcast booth here on the Fan Sports Network, coming at you on the radio and on the live stream tonight. Carroll working on Chase. Goes all the way to the rack. Almost got the end one. Foul comes, but can't get the bucket to fall.
I like that little drag step, hesitation where you kind of drag that back foot to just buy yourself just a few more half seconds and gets Mason Chase up in the air. That'll be his first foul. Other than Lindquist, really nobody with more than 1 foul in this first half, Dev, and this will send Drake Carroll to the line where traditionally throughout his career he's been a great free throw shooter, had a little bit of struggles during the month of December, but he knocks down that one for his first free throw of the night. And that's his 7th point as he'll head to the line, Dev, for 1 more. A little long, looks like Lindquist almost gets the rebound, maybe almost picked up a foul at the same time.
I was just checking the free throw shooting for Drake, and came in tonight 44%. Yeah, that's a little subpar for Drake's liking.
Yeah, he's too good of a shooter to have that happen. But
and Rasmussen hits a corner pocket triple.
And I was just going to say, Crimson went into that zone, and one of the weaknesses in a zone are certainly those corners, and Desert Hills did a great job of identifying that open spot as Lindquist takes the three-point shot in rhythm, but just a little bit of a rattle in and out.
22-22, all tied up. Desert Hills was down by as many as 12 briefly, and they've tied it at 22.
And we talked about it in the pregame, Dev. If they could get to that 8 to 10 3 marker in the game, they were going to be really difficult to guard. And they've got 1, 2, 3, 4 already, as Trevor Taylor now is going to pick up his 2nd foul.
Take another look at that one. As Taylor picks up foul number 2, and a lot of the fouls are coming trying to defend Big Jack Openshaw.
Yeah, He does a great job passing. That just a little bit of a reach in.
The slap down at the end. You got to stay straight up.
Yeah, let him finish with his left hand. Most guys, he's got a good left hand, but most guys, from about 6 feet out, they're not going to make that shot.
Thunder have taken the lead first of the night on a Fabulous Freddy's free throw by Jack Openshaw.
That'll be his 4th on the night, Dev. He'll have a chance for one more to get to 5.
It's been the hot shooting, though, of Mason Rasmussen that's really fought for Desert Hills to get them back in a position to take the lead. He's got 11 first-half points.
Well, yeah, 9 off of 3-pointers. And looks like we're going to see Travis sub back in, which I like. And Trevor's going to stay on the floor with 2 minutes left. Certainly, coach is telling him, well, right now, actually, I take that back.
Yeah, he's coming in for Trev.
Sands Reed's going to sub him out for 2 minutes. Yeah, I mean, my question here is, well, I like that move, actually, Deb, because Desert Hills has taken Openshaw off the floor.
And
so you can give him a sub and not risk that 3rd foul. That's a good move.
And I wonder if Coach Murdoch changed his mind and told Reed who to go for after he saw Openshaw heading to the bench after the 2nd free throw. Both free throws good. Shot at the other end by the Mustangs, no good.
And really only the 2nd or 3rd time that Desert Hills has gotten into transition.
24-22. Desert Hills with the ball and the lead. Holbrook out top, guarded by Lindquist. Shuts him down on the left side. Spins, terminates, needs some help. Gives it up to Terry. Back to Chaz. Chaz on the wing, trying to drop it in, and it's a steal. And now a foul by Rasmussen. Got his hand stuck in the cookie jar.
Yeah, not a bad foul. That's only the 2nd. Of course, in high school basketball now, it's those 5 fouls in any quarter sends you the line for 2. But Crimson's got to be super careful on this end of the floor because with 1:20 left, you're down 2 now after being up as much as 12. You don't want to get any cheap fouls that'll send them the line for 2 freebies.
Mustangs haven't got a field goal in the last 3 minutes and some change or so. And JJ will take a baseline. Jay, and he hurt me. He said, I got you, Double D. Here's a baseline 15-footer, nothing but the bottom.
I think what happened is he did that great reverse pivot. He squared up. Nobody really moved. He waited, and said, well, if you guys aren't going to move, I'm going to take the jumper.
Of course, not the first Eaton to come through the Crimson program. His older brother was a heck of a player. Real physical, but a great rebound and scorer. JJ's a little more wiry than his brother, wouldn't you agree, Ben?
Yeah, definitely.
24-24. Chase has it knocked out of bounds, but he'll stay with Desert Hills.
And a dangerous...
Just 4 on the shot clock.
A dangerous guard there. We're going to see great sub here by Coach Allred. Put Jack back in for offense. And Coach Murdoch's going to match that. As we see on the instant replay there, good reach in by Drake. Yeah, thank goodness, because I think maybe the next thing was a foul on Lindquist. And I like this move. You're going to sub Lindquist out with only 30 seconds left and protect him for that 3rd foul. But you do have Trevor in there.
Yep, but Jack came back in. That's why. Inside, Ben Chase scores it. Crimson's going to hold for the last shot. And it's a steal by Chase. Chase challenges over Taylor, and he scores it. 28-24, Thunder by 4. And now Mustangs can cut it back down to 1-possession game at the half with a bucket here. 10 on the clock. Carroll out top. Gives it up to Murdoch. Now down to 5. Murdoch's got to go. He goes at 3. He wants to take the 3, but he's going to take a corkscrew 2, and he bricked it. Yeah. And that'll do it for the first half. An entertaining first half, to say the least.
Absolutely entertaining. Great comeback in that first half for Desert Hills to take a 4-point lead in a back-and-forth contest that saw a lot of fireworks, 3-pointers, and what we talked about in those keys to the game. Too many offensive rebounds if you're Crimson, and too many turnovers. But that played right into what we talked about for Desert Hills. Can they limit turnovers and force those turnovers by Crimson and keep them out of transition? And I would say high marks for Coach Allred and his squad.
All right, we got a good one brewing. 28-24 on the Wilkinson scoreboard. Desert Hills trailed by double digits, but they've got the 4-point lead. When we come back, stats, analysis, scores from around the region, second half adjustments, all that and more inside the Great Harvest Bread Company halftime show after a quick timeout.
From bold statements to subtle compliments, Wilkinson's House of Lighting will help you more fully enjoy all the different spaces in your home. Find us online at shopwilkinsons.com or come in and see what's new. 88 East, 1160 South, just off Main.
We love giving back to our community, and over the years, we have provided vehicles for families in need, supported local charities, and helped train our first responders. Dealer Collision, your place for collision repair.
House of Jump is Southern Utah's only indoor trampoline park and your only place to jump, dunk, and dodge. Head on over to our house, the House of Jump.
When it comes to your child's teeth, Dr. Cody and his experienced staff at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry are game changers. So when it comes to checkups, a toothache, or any problem with your kid's teeth, call experienced veteran Dr. Cody Johnson at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry, 628-0511.
Hey, it's Marco from Coral Canyon Golf Course, inviting you to play the course with the best backdrop in Southern Utah. Make sure you get out and experience great golf for a great price at Coral Canyon. Visit coralcanyongolfcourse.com or call us at 435-688-1700 for your tee times.
At Intermountain Sports Performance, we've been training athletes for over 20 years, and we guarantee your athlete will improve speed, agility, explosive power, and reduce the risk of injury while working with the most qualified and experienced team in Southern Utah. Find us on Instagram at sportsperformance_IH to learn more.
Aloha, sports fans. It's Boo and Nick from Honolulu Grill. Come get a taste of the islands. Try our famous Kahlua pork or tender teriyaki chicken, and you'll love our mac salad and sweet sauce on your rice. Don't forget to try our original Kava 8 at Honolulu Grill. It's game time.
Best Friends Animal Sanctuary in Kanab is open daily for free family fun. Take a tour, volunteer, hike a trail, or bring home a new best friend. Visit Best Friends today for magical memories that'll last forever.
Remember when Down East was all scratch and dent furniture? Your go-to for dorm rooms, kids' rooms, and first homes? Well, the times have changed and Down East has changed with you. Down East is proud to offer our beautiful collection of high-quality furniture designed to elevate your space and make a statement. From stylish sofas and dining tables to cozy bedroom collections. If you're starting fresh or looking to upgrade, Down East has everything you need to create the home you'll love.
At Great Harvest, we believe in crafting more than just bread. We provide crisp, garden-fresh salads and savory sandwiches. Everything from garden-fresh ingredients to our signature handcrafted bread. Our friendly staff will guide you to find a meal that will leave you craving seconds. At Great Harvest, we truly provide something for everyone. And don't forget our baked goods. Satisfy your sweet tooth and finish your meal with a brownie or cinnamon roll. Come visit us at Great Harvest.
Today's game is brought to you by Everbowl, Back 9 Golf, Fabulous Freddy's, and Great Harvest Bread Company.
Back here, Crimson Cliffs drill team going to perform for you as we welcome you into the Grass Creek Construction broadcast booth. Devin Dixon alongside Ben Lindquist. And Ben, really entertaining first half. Crimson, you said it in the first 7-0 run. They couldn't have got off to a better start, but what they did well in the first quarter, Desert Hills just kind of flipped the script in that second quarter, came from double digits behind to take a 4-point lead.
And Dev, as we've seen at every level of basketball, the three-pointer is the great equalizer, right? You see them get a couple of, it's like this momentum. It's like a slam dunk. It feels like it's a bonus ball. And you saw as Mason Rasmussen came out, hit those two quick threes. Luke Terry came in right off the bench, hit that three, and suddenly, you know, it went from being 12-0 to 12-9. And then from there, Desert Hills just built momentum, forced Crimson into turnovers. And that's really the story of the game is, you know, they have 6 turnovers to Desert Hills 3.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a surprise, no question about it. You can go back to our keys to the game in the first half, and we were talking about Desert Hills can't give up easy buckets. I don't think, you know, Drake Carroll had a lay-in off the Lindquist pass. That was an easy bucket, but other than that, I don't remember an easy bucket. Maybe J.J. Eaton had another lay-in.
He had a transition bucket. Britton had a transition bucket.
But overall, I would give them a good grade on that, stopping the transition and limiting the turnovers. Check, check, and check in that left column for Desert Hills. Pressure defense, yeah, Crimson did it, but they didn't force a lot of turnovers. Offensive rebounds, not a big storyline in the first half. We'll give them a check on that one. And ball movement, I thought the ball movement was really good. Check on that one.
But what's interesting about that limit the offensive rebounds is that's where that first three came for
that's right.
For Luke Terry.
Or Luke Terry.
Right? It came at, Crimson had everything going their way. That one offensive rebound, it goes out, bang, bang. Three goes up, and suddenly the entire Thunder squad, or as we're calling them tonight, the Hills, says, oh, well, if he can make one, maybe I can make one too. And from there, you saw, let's see, 4 first half threes. Dev, we talked. If Desert Hills could get to 8 to 10 three-pointers in this game, Crimson could be in trouble. Now, Crimson has 2 threes, and they're not really a high-volume three-point shooting team. But, that's going to be the storyline to watch, is that continued offensive rebounds, and can Desert Hills keep up the three-point shooting?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. 7 points for Carroll and for Murdoch there in that first half. I think McKay Lindquist only took 1 shot, and he made it a three-pointer.
Yeah.
He's probably got to get a few more shots in the second half, add to that third scoring element.
Yeah, he's definitely got to be more aggressive. You see him a little more tentative. It's hard when you hit that three and then you come out as a result of a foul, but you can't blame Murdoch there, because that's one of those things where it's like, okay, there's 7 minutes left in the second quarter. We got to buy at least a couple of minutes. And, you saw I had to do the same thing with Trevor Taylor. It'll be interesting to see that matchup. Can Jack Openshaw continue to control the paint and put pressure on this Crimson defense so that they can maybe get a few guys in foul trouble? But really the story, to me, is the foul situation. And what it tells you is that Desert Hills is being more aggressive. They're getting more downhill. They're being more patient. They're getting a little deeper in the shot clock, because they'll drive into the paint. If you come and help, they'll kick it out. Next guy up, he'll do the same thing until they can find a crack in the defense, or they can get a kick out for an open shot.
Yeah, good analysis there. It was Mason Rasmussen, those 3 triples. He had 2 free throws. He's got a game-high 11 points. And then Ben Chase held in check in the first quarter. 3 buckets in the second quarter. He ended up with 6 first-half points to pace the Thunder as the second leading scorer. So good one brewing here at the half, 28-24. Let's get you a couple scores from around the region. By the way, Dan Lanning is over at the pit tonight. The Oregon football coach is watching Brock Harris, who decided to play basketball. And so, our chat line's been filled with pictures and a lot of fun there, and some friendly fire.
Yeah.
There's some Oregon State Beaver fans and Duck fans on the thread. So
I wasn't aware that we had Oregon State fans any longer. I thought
spoken like a true Duck.
I thought that they protested their athletics and we're going to go to engineering and research development up at that university and give up athletics as a whole. But it appears that there are still some fans, namely Matt Hamlin, who is over there potentially tonight. But I'll tell you what, that's great to see Dan Lanning. You hate to see him out. I had a chance to go down to the Rose Bowl. That was a tough loss.
Ohio State's playing good though right now.
I'll tell you what, I love the recruiting class we have coming back, and I love Coach Lanning. Look at this. He's jumping on the jet, flying down to see a potential, ESPN five-star recruit at the tight end position to replace guys like Ferguson and Herbert, guys like that. That's a good sign if you're a Duck fan and if you're a Pineview fan,
by the way, Pineview led at the half 27-17, but they're already racing ahead into the third quarter. Dixie started on a 9-1 run, so Pineview's lead is down to 28-26 with under 4 to play in the third. That update brought to you by The Rink. And, by the way, a close one over there, Snow Canyon. And it's 19-18 at the half, a little lower scoring game.
Wow.
Was that score? I lost that score.
That was the score, 19-18 at half.
Yeah.
And, we're not much further than that at 28-24. But anytime you're sub-20 in the first half in 16 minutes of play, either they're playing really great defense or there's some offense to be desired.
Second half adjustments. What was Coach Murdoch telling the Mustangs at the break, Ben?
Yeah, I think, look, limit those turnovers, put a little more pressure on them, be a little more aggressive when you catch the ball, and really try and just cut down on those turnovers here in the second half, because it's those second chance opportunities that we talked about, those extra possessions. And if you're Desert Hills, you're in there saying, look, guys, well, this is our game at this point. They threw their best shot at us. We weathered the storm. Now it's our chance to take this lead from 4, stretch it to 8 to 10 going into the fourth quarter, and win on the road here inside the stables of Crimson Cliffs.
Second half about to get underway. Thanks to Great Harvest Bread Company for bringing you our halftime report. Check out their 2 Southern Utah locations for delicious, healthy breakfast, delicious cinnamon rolls, brownies, and of course, really they'll cater your next meal, and they got great lunch options over there as well. Openshaw and the Thunder, again, debuting for our radio audience, their brand new purple jerseys, a little pick and roll, but it's a turnover. Only the 4th turnover of the game for the Thunder. And at the other end, Murdoch hanging but can't hit. And that bucket on a putback up and in, big bucket there for Travis Murdoch.
And that's a little bit of what I'm talking about. He is just so aggressive that he puts you on skates and puts you on your heels. He takes it right at Ben Chase, doesn't give it up on the play, and gets a freebie after the offensive rebound that we just talked about.
Yep. Openshaw on the elbow. Gives it back up to Holbrook. And Holbrook, bumped, and they call a foul on McKay Lindquist, and that is number 3. And let's take a look at that. I don't think McKay had any intent to foul there. He's just hedging through the screen.
Yeah, I think that's probably a foul. Go under the screen. Chaz isn't going to be the guy that's going to come off of that, pop back and shoot a 3 on you. Go under the screen at full speed.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to foul there, but there was a little bit of contact. There's no question, you're right. Springer kicks it over to Chase. He was heating up in that second quarter. We'll see if he stays hot. Springer, Ben, correct me if I'm wrong, but he doesn't have a bucket yet in this game, only free throw.
And as you can see here, we got a little bit of a matchup on.
And good defense by Lindquist, knowing he had 3, and Holbrook has a takeaway. Lindquist running and gunning, laying, no! Just couldn't get enough English on it. Here comes Chase.
And I think that's one where just a result of him only getting 1 shot, he probably should have looked up the court there and then got it back. Trust your teammate, get that give and go action.
Open shot, had it poked away and stolen away. That's turnover number 5 for the Thunder. So only 3 in the first half, 2 already here early on in the third quarter, and Eaton travels.
And that's the play that I'm talking about. It's like if you do a good shot fake, you don't have to rush. That old John wouldn't be quick, but don't hurry there. If you get that shot fake, the defense is at your mercy. Take your time, lift him in the air, watch him fly by, and then you're in control of the next step.
By the way, Rink Region 9 update, skatetherink.com. Pineview leads 35-32 at the end of the third quarter.
What a comeback there.
That game streaming just like this one.
I still like Pineview at home there. I think, Dixie is so well coached and that team is used to winning, but that's never going to be too much of a blowout.
Turnaround Jay, tough shot, well contested, knocked out of bounds, and it'll be Crimson basketball.
And again, Lindquist gets away with a little bit of a slap there. I thought he hit it out of bounds, but never too afraid to get a freebie from the ref.
Lindquist gets it into Carroll. Starting 5 for both teams on the court right now as we have 5 minutes and 45 seconds left here in the third quarter. 2-point lead for Desert Hills here on the road at Crimson High. Taylor over to Eaton on the wing. Over to Lindquist. Inside to Murdoch. Goes to that left shoulder.
Yeah, that's
and
Murdoch's just so good. If he gets a foot in the paint, you are at his mercy. And there, especially, he's got a little bit smaller guy. He's so good going left shoulder, right strong hand. And he'll go to the line for 2 and a chance to tie this ball game at 5:32 in the third quarter.
Murdoch's just a junior. So is Lindquist. You got a couple seniors. You got those 3 returning starters, but you have experience, but you still don't have all your starters are seniors or anything of that nature on this.
Yeah, 3 starters that are seniors for this team as Murdoch knocks down the second dev. That'll give him 11.
Yeah.
In a 28-28 ball game as he's almost got half of their points.
Creeping up on his 15.6 points per game average.
And really, that's a good sign. He had struggled in the second game of their last tournament with only 5. And this is where Lindquist, again, has got to be so careful. Let Chaz raise up and shoot a 3. Don't get your hands in there. For everybody, that's the message.
And a cutting Rasmussen lays it home. Beautiful feed, and Mason was money.
And again, Dev, you've heard me say it for the last 2 or 3 years. Jump to the basketball. That way a guy can't make that face cut and go right down Broadway unguarded.
30-28. Crimson trailing by 2 with the basketball. They go down to Carroll. Help defense comes. and Drake scores it anyway.
I like what Drake's been able to do this game. I mean, that's a good look. You have to shoot that one. You've got the guys at your disposal. They do really good. It's strange. You never really see them throw an over-the-top pass to a guard.
Ben Chase slashing down the lane, and he's got those go-go gadget arms for any of our older audience that just extends out any would-be block attempt.
Yeah, with the old Inspector Gadget.
And Murdoch does a similar move and scores it. The bank is open for business.
And if those go in, they're good shots. But if they don't, they just look bad for both of those guys, Chase and Murdoch. And sometimes, you know, he's a scorer, and you expect to have a couple of bad shots if you're a scorer. That's how you know you're being aggressive.
That one deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with Crimson. Or excuse me, it'll stay with Desert Hills. My apologies. It'll be Springer to inbound. 4 minutes, 2 seconds left, 32-32. We're all tied up on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard. Light it up, Region 9, from your friends at Wilkinson, serving Southern Utah since 1946. Lights, fans, home decor, and now a offensive foul.
And I think that Lindquist has been saying the whole night, like, look, on that screen, you know, I got to get a little bit of space as we see him come off of Rasmussen's screen here as he throws it weak side. They come off this double screen action, and you see he just kind of moves those hips just enough. And, you know, the officials, that's really been a point of emphasis the last couple of years.
You want you completely stationary?
As the dribble handoff and the ball screen has become so common in the game of basketball.
So that's turnover number 6 for Desert Hills. Inside to Murdoch. Quick shot blocked by Chase. Ball loose. Murdoch, no, but a foul.
And you see, Devin, I mean, I can't say it enough. Murdoch, he just finds himself in scoring positions, right? He's got a good knack for being where the ball is going to be next. And then he keeps rebounding, never gives up. He's a guy that'll jump on the floor, and he's going to go to the line for 2 more free throws and a chance to get to 15, his season average.
Well, and I was a little surprised when I looked at the rebounding statistics before the game prep, and that he had only 42 rebounds, which is about 4.5 rebounds per game, because I would have thought Murdoch, 6'4", 6'5", would have, you know, maybe a little bit more. I don't know if that's correct or not.
He has a little bit of a tendency to leak out in transition.
He does shoot some threes.
When he's around the hoop,
that's where he gets them.
He's good at getting his own rebound for sure. And it just does a good job of getting that old tip game, you know, where you kind of tip it to yourself, a la Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
Where he kind of floats like him a little bit too.
What is the ceiling for a Travis Murdoch? Is he a JUCO, a Division II, or do you think he's got some D1 potential?
Yeah, I think with guys like that, it just kind of depends. You know, they're in this transition year physically on how they can develop. He has the scoring mentality. At that D1 level, you have to be able to guard guys. And I don't know if he's quite there yet, but he's got a season of basketball left.
Yeah, he's just a junior, no question. Only going to get better. Chase thought about the 3. Double team now, although Link was kind of giving a little ground and now leaves him. And now Chaz Holbrook, good look at a 3. That won't go, but Chase grabs an offensive rebound, and then a foul by J.J. Eaton. Chase is long. He's just kind of wiry.
He's so long, and I go back to that whole principle of find the guy first. As that shot goes up, there's such a tendency for a player to go track the ball and forget where their guy is. When you see the shot go up, your first instinct should be to find your guy, box out, and then release to where the ball's going next. You're going to see a little shot in the corner, that little block rub that so many high school teams are doing on the out-of-bounds plays now. Trevor's got to be careful here. He kind of reached in on Ben Chase on that dribble.
And it's going to be a kick out from Terry over to Chase. Chase will hoist the 3. It looked online, took a high bounce, but won't go. Carroll ahead quickly to Eaton. Trailing Phillips, he'll take the trailer 3, and he misses it.
And Britton's been able to knock that shot down, but you just come into the game. You know, this has not been a high-volume, quick-shooting game. Get a rhythm for it. Make sure you have it in your hands. And then on the second pass, go get it.
Oh, great tip by Trevor Taylor. And Phillips then saves it off Openshaw.
And this is really one of the things you got to love about a guy like Britton Phillips. He'll make a mistake down there, and he'll come back here and make an incredible defensive play. Of course, a wide receiver for that state championship team. As he goes, he jumps in the air and throws it off of Openshaw on the baseline. Crimson ball, 34-32, Dev. We got a shootout.
2-point lead for the home team, the Mustangs. And now Drake Carroll Trying to do some work. Gets right to the middle, hangs and hits. Foul comes.
And this is where I think Crimson could really take the next step. It's not a bad shot, right? The end result is a foul. But when he goes to that, he's on the block, he's going over, a little bit of a hesitation dribble, takes that big jump into the paint. Help comes. That's where you have the weak side where guys are asleep to kick it out and get a wide open shot. Now he got the foul shot. He's going to make the foul shot here for the first one. And he's got a great night. That's going to be his 10th point, and they're going to need all of them tonight. But I love that idea of that just one more pass.
Drake for one more. Tonight's game brought to you by Jersey Mike's. We'll pick a sub of the game in our post-game show. We'll also name the Appliance Wholesalers Plus Playmaker Play of the Game. I don't know if we've seen it yet, Ben. I think it's still coming in a tight one.
Yeah, I think, traditionally this series has had one of those in the second half in these very close games every single year.
Oh,
a little bit of difficulty, another turnover there for D Hills, as suddenly they're finding ways to turn the ball over.
Yeah, they had 3 in the whole first half. We still
now they're at 7.
Yeah, we've had 4 in this third quarter, and there's still a minute 46 to play in this third quarter. Murdoch does it again. Left hand from the left side, scores it, driving to the hoop. And now Coach Allred wants a quick timeout as the Thunder are down by 5, 37-32.
And really a 13-4 run here in the third quarter with just under 2 minutes left, Ev. I think we're getting everything we'd hoped for in the first Region 9 basketball game of 2025 here on the Fan Sports Network.
Cliffs lead the Hills by 5 on the Wilkinson scoreboard. Back after this.
Need an appliance or two? AWP's got you. Check out the remodeled expansive showroom, highlighting the Cafe series with colors like matte black, matte white, and modern glass. Make your kitchen stand out. Come see the local boys at AWP across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart.
Create your own relaxing, comfortable space. Boulevard Home offers the guaranteed best prices on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. And buy with no interest financing. Shop Boulevard Home, because home is who we are.
Hey, it's Marco from Coral Canyon Golf Course, inviting you to play the course with the best backdrop in Southern Utah. Make sure you get out and experience great golf for a great price at Coral Canyon. Visit coralcanyongolfcourse.com or call us at 435-688-1700 for your tee times.
Today's game is brought to you by Johnson Pediatric Dentistry, Sport Court, Scooters Coffee, and Holbrook Asphalt.
Back here to live action, 128 and ticking, 5-point lead for Crimson. 13-4 run has been mentioned. And Ben Chase, a swirling dervish of a move, but they say he travels. And the turnovers are starting to stack up on the Thunder a little bit after such an efficient first half. Second half play-by-play brought to you by Intermountain Sports Performance. Get ready for your spring season. There is no off-season. Train with their certified trainers no matter what sport you're playing at Intermountain Sports Performance. JJ, straight away to Murdoch, a couple bounces, waist high, gives it back to JJ. Lob it quickly down to Britton. Britton hasn't scored yet. Has he been?
Yeah, Britton's got 2. He got
2.
that layup in the first half.
That's right. And now a takeaway. A turnover there by the Mustangs. Holbrook leaves it for Mason Rasmussen. There's been a lot of Masons. Mason Chase, Mason Landick, now Mason Rasmussen the last 4 or 5 years that have come through this Desert Hills Thunder
Something
program.
going on over there in Little Valley. Everyone likes that name, huh?
And then Chase misfires on the triple.
And that's probably the most open look that he's really got tonight, other than that one in the first half towards the end of the shot clock. But Coach Murdoch's going to slow this down with 22 seconds to have, and I think he's going to really say, guys, whatever we do, let's get the last shot.
Yeah.
Go into the fourth quarter up 5, 37-32.
Yeah, and you thought, well, Ben, maybe work a little more offense, but he was so wide open. I mean, sometimes you pass on an open look and you don't get a better one.
Yeah, you get and right here, they're going to shoot a little bit early. No, they're not.
Murdoch's going to take a straightaway 3, but he had to kind of rush it as the time was running down, and it's 37-32. Put 4 fingers in the air. We go to the fourth quarter in a Region 9 rival matchup here between the Mustangs and the Thunder, live on the Fan Sports Network, presented by the Boulevard. We'll be right back.
Intermountain Sports Performance, we've been training athletes for over 20 years, and we guarantee your athlete will improve speed, agility, explosive power, and reduce the risk of injury while working with the most qualified and experienced team in Southern Utah. Find us on Instagram at sportsperformance_IH to learn more.
Hey, it's Luke with Udine Associates at American Family Insurance. At Udine Associates, we love insurance so you don't have to. With a quick call, we can get you an instant quote with the right coverages. My team of licensed agents are ready to help you with better insurance from American Family. Give us a call at 435-251-9102.
Hi, I'm Jermaine Jegman from The Rink, and I'm inviting you to come out and skate the rink. The rink is the hot spot in town for big group events and kid birthday parties. We now have a karaoke room and retro skate night every Friday night. Visit skatetherink.com to learn more and let the good times roll at the rink.
Today's game is brought to you by Boulevard Home, Handel's Ice Cream, Intercap Lending, and Red Rock Real Estate.
Here, our Boulevard Home game of the week. Devin Dixon, Ben Lindquist here in our Grass Creek Construction broadcast booth, building with integrity. They build a lot of great projects, from commercial to residential to sheds to shops. They built the new summit on Sunset Boulevard. Grass Creek Construction, one of our great partners, bringing to the game.
They do a great
tonight.
job. You see a lot of their signs around town. That just tells you the quality you can expect. And speaking of quality you can expect, Travis Murdoch, Drake Carroll, the only two Crimson players to score in that third quarter as Crimson takes that 5-point lead. And now Travis Murdoch has 17 points. Interestingly enough, for Desert Hills, they only had two guys score, Rasmussen and Chase. There in that third quarter. So basically a 2-on-2 game.
And both teams maybe looking for that third score as Drake Carroll gets a little alley-oop lay-in, beautifully timed on the pass, and he finishes pretty move.
Great athletic move there. Great pass from Eaton all the way to Drake Carroll, who turns over that left shoulder and gently lays it off the glass.
Holbrook on a drive. And tries to go over Lindquist, who was just straight up, didn't want to get his fourth foul.
And he's done a great job of really, keeping his guy in front of him.
McKay, mid-range jumper. No. Murdoch fighting for the rebound. Open shot, grabs it for the Thunder. Here comes D. Hills. Holbrook over to Terry. Terry rocking the headband and the frosted tips that Ben and I had in the 1996-97 days. Inside to open shot and a foul, and the shot won't go.
And that's going to be Trevor Taylor's third foul, but he did a great job. Really, Jack didn't get many looks there in the third quarter after being very, not just a facilitator, but also kind of that big body, getting rebounds and drawing fouls, really.
Pineview just got a dunk to go up 45-43. Dixie ball, 33 seconds left in that one. Meanwhile, it's 39-33, Snow Canyon leading Cedar by 6 with 3:17 left in the fourth quarter, Ben. So all the games tight tonight. Updates brought to you by The Rink. Plan your next kid's birthday party, skatetherink.com.
Wow, interesting. I kind of thought that Cedar Snow Canyon game would be a close game, and really I think those two are going to battle for second to last and last this season, just based on but a bright future ahead for both of those teams, as you get a lot of youth that's able to play this year.
And Tyler Monk's had a couple key players move away, and then Owen Mackey graduated, and shot won't go. Deep rebound, Karams to Springer, and the Thunder have it. Crimson leading 39-34, 6:25 to go here in the fourth quarter. Tonight's game brought to you by Scooters Coffee and Hurricane. Next time you're going to have to play Sky Mountain or Copper Rock, stop by, get their delicious breakfast burritos and coffees and smoothies. Three by Rasmussen, that won't go, and he's been shooting it well, but that one spins out no good. Mustangs can extend the 5-point lead with a bucket here. Carroll to the middle. Pops it over the top of open shot, tipped by Taylor, no.
And that's where Crimson has to crash the glass there, because those soft shots around there, you're not going to get beat in transition, as we see Rasmussen go the length of the floor, and Trevor Taylor sneakily gets his hand in there, unable to not get that fourth foul, I guess.
You love the speed of Rasmussen. He almost looks out of control sometimes, but that one's just stripped out of there. But he plays 100% full speed. Open shot, design lob, scores it, and a beautiful feed from Ben Chase.
And 4 quick points in the fourth quarter. I love this set, right? You get that screen. It's screen the screener, right? He screens the guy going into the corner, and then he gets a screen as his guy's trying to adjust to help.
Cuts the lead down to 3. Murdoch wants a 3. Not this time, but offensive rebound. Eaton, yes!
And Eaton really has been one of the X factors for Crimson here in this game, as he was unable to play in the last 3 games. And so this is really his first action since the Snow Canyon opener, as he's been out for 3 games.
Energy levels look good after a little time away from the gym. Chase over to Chaz. Back to Jack. And now Rasmussen on the wing. Still 6 on the shot clock. Mason gets the handoff to Springer. Now Chaz has got to take a duff 3, and I don't know if he got it off in time. They say he did not.
They're going to say no, and that's going to be turnover number 9.
I just don't think they were really paying attention close enough to the shot clock on that possession.
Yeah.
And good defense by the Mustangs.
And I mean, you see just how much more defensively minded the region's going to be in this new year. Is, you know, these rivalry games, these matchup games.
Eaton down low, head fake, up and under, and no, but a foul on Rasmussen, who didn't like it. You can see the reaction.
And we'll take a look
here.
You
got to capture it.
Oh, that's what I get for trying to drive on the highway here. But basically what happened there is JJ got the old left shoulder right, gave him the little look up, and just got enough of Rasmussen to get up in the air, and that's a painful foul because that's his 4th with just 4:30 left here in the fourth quarter. So, you know, he's going to have to be tentative. It'll be interesting to see if Coach Murdoch and company can draw up something to attack him and put some pressure on him as JJ misses the second of those free throws.
So splits the Fabulous Freddy's free throws. Here come Desert Hills, down 42-36. Open shot stripped away. It'll stay with Desert Hills. Tonight's game brought to you by the Back 9 Golf. Indoor golf. Feel and play and train like a pro, taking the world of golf to the next level. It's kind of a little bit like what you saw if you watched the Golf League last night. Indoor golf simulator and a steal. Here comes Lindquist. Got JJ on his left and tries to choke the floater, miss it, put back no, and rebound Ben Chase.
And this is the problem when you only get a guy 2 or 3 shots. He should have gave that one up to JJ and trusted that JJ would find him on the give and go.
Yeah, I think he waited too long, and then they hedged the passing lane and took it away.
But give it up early, and then
trust, get it back.
Yeah, trust your teammate that'll give it back. But again, when from a system, when you only get a guy like that who's your second leading scorer, when you only get him 3 shots, it's a tendency as a scorer to kind of force it a little bit.
Yeah.
And, you know, as a junior, he and Travis, they're going to learn those things over this next half of the season as Ben Chase misses the front end of that 1-and-1 or that 2-point shot from the foul line.
Yeah, it was on the shot, so Chase will reset. He'll have one more. Coming up, we'll have the Johnson Pediatric Dentistry post-game show. Put a bow on this, hand out awards, give you all the final stats. Set the table for the games coming up on Friday. Our look ahead, we'll be out in Hurricane. The Tigers on a bye tonight. We'll be out in the Tigers Den Friday night for our next live broadcast.
That'll be an interesting game as Hurricane is really on the up and up now.
Yeah, Crimson at Hurricane. That'll be Friday night right here. You can watch it or listen to it. You'll be out there with Caden on Friday night.
Absolutely. And 9th turnover for Crimson, and they're going to make him pay with a Ben Chase going to his strong hand. And what's the ref calling here? Is he saying they didn't get it out, or is he calling a timeout?
D-Hills took a timeout from the bench.
And I like that, right? It's 3:26 left. You've just cut the lead to 3 on a turnover transition bucket. Hurry and call a timeout. Maybe throw a little bit of a press. Maybe go to a zone defense, get a little bit of disruption on the defensive end. If nothing else, talk to your guys what to do the last couple of minutes here in the fourth quarter of our first region game of the new year.
Three-pointers tonight brought to you by Nets on Fire. Hoop at Nets, individual training, team training to camps. Their Ignite AU program, tryouts will be coming later this spring. Check it all out at netsonfire.org. Building champions on and off the court. And appreciate Honolulu Grill, spreading the aloha. It's all good at Honolulu Grill on 7th South, 7th East. Hawaiian food like the Kalua pork, the katsu chicken, the Loco Moco burger. It's all good at Honolulu Grill.
Ooh.
Throw up the shakas.
Yeah, a couple shakas for Devin there. And again, it'll be interesting to see. Looks like they're going to sit back past half court on defense, but will they jump into a zone? This could be looks like a little bit of a zone look here. And I think that's right, Dev. I think they're going to get into a little bit of maybe a little 1-3-1 or they're in a zone here.
Yep, giving Crimson a different look. Carroll with the ball out top. 3:13 to play. Crimson by 3. Lindquist spots a 3. No. Put back. No. Eaton had a great look, and Taylor, I think, touched it last. It'll be Thunder basketball. A 3 here could potentially tie it.
And a good look, actually, wide open on that swing pass. I don't mind the shot at all. Great offensive rebound.
JJ wants that one back.
And just alligator armed it. That happens sometime. You get a little anxious. The sea parts, and you go, whoa, whoa, whoa.
They do set up a little extended press here. Now drop out of it. 3 minutes exactly to go.
They're going to go to this high post action with Jack here. Try and get him the ball and do some rub cuts off of it. And here they go. See if they can get Chase. Jack says, I'll just take it, Dev.
And he's going to muscle it up but leave it short. Ben Chase, finger roll, put back, got it, and one. Ben Chase, right place, right time. Dealer collision, big hit there in the paint. As it charges a block, they say block, and Chase will go to the line. Take another look.
Oh. And Dev, this is one of those things where this is going to hurt when you watch the tape because it looked like it was a missed box out, as sometimes you get stuck watching the big fella shoot it. You turn around and your guy's cutting down the hoop to lay it up and get the foul. You gotta get those offensive rebounds.
Yeah.
And we talked about it in the pregame, the keys to the game, and this one is it potentially ties the game with 2:44 left in the fourth quarter. That's one that you scratch your head as a coach and say, guys, come on, this is a region game. We're both undefeated. We got to find that rebound, and on cue, they get another offensive rebound.
How did he get it without going over the back? Springer, a 3, left it short. Rebound, Rasmussen. Thunder, another board on the offensive glass.
And a little bit of chaos here for Crimson as they just look a little lost defensively. And just go to the fundamentals. Find your guy, box out.
Open shot, kicks in, and Carroll intercepts the pass. Coast to coast, laying up and in. Drake Carroll, when you need him, he comes through in the clutch. 44-41, Mustangs with a 3-point lead.
And that's what you expect of senior leadership. He's a 2-year starter, got a lot of time as even a sophomore. Great still, led with the right hand, got that tip, finished it coast to coast.
Chase out top. And Chase can't finish at the rim. Rebound Crimson. Under 2 to play. 44-41 on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard.
Dev, I like getting Trav on the block here, get Murdoch on the block, or get, maybe even get Drake a post up here. But this is where you got to make sure that you get the best shot.
Murdoch with it over to Lindquist. Now to Drake. Still 12 on the shot clock. Drake. JJ kind of lost his balance there. Nothing available. Now Lindquist goes to Taylor.
6
Taylor
on the clock here,
skips
Dev.
it. Drake, quick fire on the 3. No. Murdoch put back. Yes!
And again.
Did they call a foul on Taylor, though?
Oh, I don't know here. Boy, I thought that was just a great play as we'll go here to the Holbrook Asphalt replay.
Watch Taylor. Is he push?
No,
there's
I
nothing.
Think, boy,
but Trav puts his hands up like, what's the call?
I wonder if they're wondering if the shot clock didn't reset. Can we see that one more time, Dev? Okay, let's look at the shot clock. It goes up, 4 on the clock. It doesn't hit. Oh, it reset. Did you see that, Dev?
And it didn't hit the rim.
And I don't know if it hit the rim. We've got the worst possible angle because we couldn't see if it hit and just went straight down or brushed it. They're going to talk it over and say that there should
Trev. I thought he just kind of put his hands up like an expression like,
as we take one more look at it, goes up, boom, he still gets that off.
So they're going to wave the basket off. They're going to. Brian Young, the PA announcer, just said the basket is no good.
That's too bad because I think that's one. There was clearly 2 seconds left on the shot clock.
It should have.
And there's going to be a timeout here now.
Yeah, Crimson is taking a 30-second timeout. Brought to you by Luke Udy at American Family Insurance.
And this happened last year in a holiday tournament here that it cost Crimson a win as well because they said that the shot clock didn't reset last year and it actually did hit the rim. And so boy, this would be heartbreaking if you're a Crimson fan, because that shot clearly still had 2 seconds left. He would have got the layup, the hoop, and the harm, a chance to go to the line and stretch this thing to 47-41. Instead, I think they're going to put 2 seconds on the shot clock, which now puts them in an uncomfortable position to force a potential shot. And they're going to have to get a shot off here with 1:22 left, up 3, 44-41. As requested, Dev, we got a shootout.
Yeah.
Here in the first region game of 2025.
Although we need 55 points for our Holbrook Asphalt Big Score dessert, we might need overtime to get that tonight. Wednesday night, Yogurtland, yes, please, but we need some points.
I mean, you're talking about Honolulu Grill, you're talking about Yogurtland. I mean, what's a guy supposed to do?
Lindquist will catch and shoot, and he had to hurry. He got it off, and it's short off the front iron.
And a little bit of contact there, too, Dev. Desert Hills is lucky. It looks like that was a little beyond contested. Thank goodness they didn't get the foul call.
Thunder can tie it. Rasmussen 3, no.
And good job of Crimson getting that offensive rebound. Dev, 1 minute left, 44-41. Take us away.
Yeah, here we go. Crunch time in the field house tonight. To stay unbeaten and keep pace with Pineview.
I would really like to see something inside the paint here. Can you find a way? It looks like they're going to go more of a four corners action, but do a little screen action. They've got this great little set where they get a guy on the block. Get something where you're forcing them to make a decision.
Here goes Lindquist. He'll hit Taylor. Back to McKay. McKay's going to drive on Chase. Scores in with the right hand. Oh, spun out! Rebound, Carroll, and a foul! What a trickeration by a broadcaster. I thought that ball was going to go in. It spun out. Yep. Let's see if we got another look here. It's a great move by McKay. And I think Drake's left hand was held.
Looked like he kind of held him from behind.
And that's the
Lindquist
call.
Clearly wants that one over. I think he got a little bit of help on the arm, but a guy's got to make that at this level.
One more
Great
look
hesitation.
here.
That's one where you can't, I mean, you're afraid of the length of Ben Chase, but go up strong and lay it up. Don't come over here on your right and flip it up. You got to go up strong.
Great look there on Holbrook Asphalt replay. Another money mace on our camera tonight. 44-41, 29.
A lot of Masons in the house.
Seconds to go.
And the great crowd tonight too, Dev.
It really is.
It's always nice when all the students are kind of back.
Yep.
And the community does such a great job of supporting these sports, these high school sports, and really a pretty full house down in front of us. Student section for Crimson strong, Desert Hills strong, and it looks like we're going to see another timeout for Desert Hills here to talk over this last 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's a full timeout. We'll take a quick 30. We don't want to miss a thing. But this game is tight, 44-41. Mustangs trying to close it out against the Thunder when we come back live on the Fan Sports Network.
Hey, it's Marco from Coral Canyon Golf Course inviting you to play the course with the best backdrop in Southern Utah. Make sure you get out and experience great golf for a great price at Coral Canyon. Visit coralcanyongolfcourse.com or call us at 435-688-1700 for your tee times.
Huge news! Sport Court has a brand new showroom and design center, and it's next level. See why so many are choosing Sport Court here in Southern Utah for top quality basketball, pickleball, and multi-purpose courts. Learn more at sportcourtofsouthernutah.com.
Today's game is brought to you by Findlay Subaru, Honolulu Grill, Nets on Fire, and Intermountain Sports Performance.
Here come the Thunder. They've chatted with Coach Allred. Here comes the Mustangs after the timeout. Coach Murdoch still discussing some things with McKay Lindquist. And now a three-man picket fence with Lindquist isolated. It'll be Carroll to inbound. Shot clock is off. 29.3 to go. How long do you go here before you foul? Not long. Springer quickly puts McKay Lindquist on the line.
Well, and playing solid defense is going to hurt Desert Hills a little bit at this point because they still have a couple more fouls to get to that bonus.
Yep.
And if you're Crimson, you got to just make sure that you meet that ball, that pass,
Play
and
keep
hold
away
it strong.
if you can.
Yeah, and just really be strong with the ball so that you can get to that foul line and have a chance to stretch it to 5.
Now Lindquist goes back door. Eaton fouled and doesn't get it to go, but he'll head to the line.
Great pass by Lindquist. Even better cut by Eaton.
was looking at
the stats on that. He's a pretty good foul shooter. Looks like from the line, 58%. But in my experience, he's always made the big ones. He's done a really good job over the last 2 years of making those big free throws.
So we'll see. No, there's still one more to give.
Wow,
but it was on the
like
shot.
It was clearly on the shot. I'm confused here.
Me too. They say it was on the floor. The held must have come way earlier than we thought.
Yeah.
And now here's another quick foul. So fouling started at 29.3. We're down to exactly 25 seconds.
And this will send Murdoch, the team's leader in free throws, to the line. And a chance to stretch this to 5. If nothing else, give him that cushion of a 4-point lead, even if he can split these. I just don't see any way that he misses both of these. He's just too good of a shooter, too good of a release.
Murdoch, you're right, 79%. Hokinson actually is 100%, but he's only shot 2 for 2 this year.
And that touches it all. That is Murdoch's first point here in the fourth quarter, as he had 17 through 3 and is at 18 on the night, Dev.
One more, 45-41, so it's a 4-point lead. This would make it 5.
Couple of things to note. Possession arrow for Desert Hills as Murdoch makes the second there to gather his 19th point.
5-point lead. Here comes Holbrook into the front court. Jazz gets it over to Springer. Springer will take a quick 3. No. And it hit the top of the standard. It's going to be Crimson basketball, and that might have been the dagger.
And right now you're just saying, look, hey, go get a jump ball. Like, trap that first one, see if you can get Crimson to bring it down to their waist, get a couple of hands on it, get a jump ball. It's their possession. They're going to sub offense for defense here a little bit as they take Jack and Rasmussen, who both have 4 fouls. Going to take them off the court, see if they can either get a foul or they can get a jump ball, as they almost had Lindquist length to the floor here. And now they're saying, boy, someone's got to foul Carroll there, as he takes almost 4 seconds off the shot clock, or off the clock. Valuable time in a game this close.
Drake Carroll, the senior, will head to the Fabulous Freddy's free throw line. Again, a reminder, coming up, we'll get you a recap on all the scores from around the region tonight, all the statistics and analysis in our Johnson Pediatric Dentistry post-game show. For a minute there, it looked like we might be heading to overtime. A couple free throws here can put this game on ice. Carroll's first, nothing but net.
And this is good for him to see, because, again, he's struggled a little bit during the month of December. And it looks like he's obviously gotten in the gym and figured that out, got his confidence back. He's been a much better foul shooter through his career than what he showed in the month of December.
Drake, one more, and got it. 48-41, 7-point lead. Desert Hills only 12 seconds to go. They need a 3 and more fouls as quick as they can. Chase, got to shoot it. Instead, hands off. Terry will take the 3. No good. And Springer throws it out of bounds. And Springer cramping. Oh, you can see his leg is completely his calf is cramping. Oh, I had one of those in the middle of the night the other night. I feel for him. That's still tender. 3 days old.
When you get a little older, Dev, you don't drink enough water. You get cramped just getting out of bed, apparently.
Yeah. I think it was because I was on vacation. I think you're 100% correct. I needed to put a banana by the hotel bedstand. This is that potassium touches my lips. Hopefully that cramp goes away.
And it looks like Desert Hills
That'll
is just going to let this run out.
Horn
Huge
sounds.
home win here, 48-41. Oh, and some fans throwing some stuff on the court. You hate to see that.
Mustangs high five, and not a exuberant celebration, but it's got to feel good as they get their 3rd region win to keep pace and stay undefeated. We're down to 2 undefeated teams left in region. Pineview beat Dixie tonight.
And they'll play next week.
And now Crimson, and they'll play next week. And rest assured, we'll have it for you. All right, we'll clean it all up after a quick timeout. Johnson Pediatric post-game show. Stick with us, everybody. It's a final, 48-41 on the Wilkinson scoreboard. Crimson gets the win over Desert Hills.
At Grass Creek Construction, they put their heart and integrity into every build. Their team is committed to delivering top-quality commercial projects that stand out. Integrity is their competitive edge. Building with passion, building with purpose, proud sponsor of local sports.
Need an appliance or two? AWP's got you. Check out the remodeled expansive showroom, highlighting the cafe series with colors like matte black, matte white, and modern glass. Make your kitchen stand out. Come see the local boys at AWP across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you can still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
Hello? Cheesesteak?
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
Nets on Fire is the place to hoop in Southern Utah. Elevate your game with group or individual training with elite coaching. Hustle to netsonfire.org to learn more and see why so many rising stars hoop at Nets. Nets on Fire, building champions on and off the court.
Scooters Coffee and Hurricane is the best way to start your day or get you through your day. From breakfast sandwiches to cinnamon rolls to amazing smoothies and, of course, coffee. Anytime is a good time to sip and smile. Scooters Coffee, open 7 days a week.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt.
House of Jump is Southern Utah's only indoor trampoline park and your only place to jump, dunk, and dodge. Head on over to our house, the House of Jump.
When it comes to your child's teeth, Dr. Cody and his experienced staff at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry are game changers. So when it comes to checkups, a toothache, or any problem with your kid's teeth, call experienced veteran Dr. Cody Johnson at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry, 628-0511.
Today's game is brought to you by Wilkinson's House of Lighting, The Rink, Jersey Mike's, and Coral Canyon Golf Course.
Did a great job, too.
Great job for the Mustangs tonight. Devin Dixon, Ben Lindquist. We welcome you into our Johnson Pediatric Dentistry postgame show 48-41 as Desert Hills made things interesting, but only came up with 9 points in the second half as Crimson stays perfect in region play, improving to 3-0. Desert Hills dropping their first 4-0, and Desert Hills dropping their first region loss tonight.
Yeah, and a great, maybe you're right, it is, well, hold on. No, it is
Desert Hills was 3-0, they're now 3-1, and they're now 3-0. They were 2-0. They had a bye already.
That's right, yeah. So only 2 undefeated teams at this point in the season now, as Crimson and Pineview are the lone unbeatens. And another big one for Crimson this Friday. And this is exactly what we kind of expected this year, where Dixie is not out of it, even though they've got 2 losses earlier than they're accustomed to. But tonight it just felt like Desert Hills, they had that huge start. Maybe they used up a little bit too much momentum. Crimson came out, had a great start to the second half, got a couple of early buckets, was able to kind of get a little bit of a 4 to 5 point buffer, and really was able to close that game out, knocking down free throws, a couple of critical ones there by Carroll and by Murdoch down the stretch. And I didn't feel like Crimson played their best game. Didn't really feel like Desert Hills played their best game. Crimson was able to eliminate most of those offensive rebounds in the second half that hurt them in the first half, and Desert Hills just wasn't quite able to make those shots, as they only had 2 guys score in that second half, in Openshaw and Ben Chase. Openshaw ends up with 9, and Chase ends up with 11, and Mason Rasmussen, who had 13 through 3 quarters, finishes with 13. So that's kind of your story there, is the inability to score. And we've seen this from this Desert Hills teams throughout the season, where they've gone early in the season, man, they had a couple of just anemic first quarter, second quarters, and then they kind of figured out. Here, they had a blistering second quarter to get back into this thing, and it just really was an inability to put the ball in the hole in the fourth quarter.
Lots to do here inside of our Johnson Pediatric Dentistry postgame show. And first of all, one thing that was interesting tonight, Ben, all 3 winning teams scored 48 points tonight. We didn't get any game that went over 55 points to go get our big score dessert. So hopefully we'll get that on Friday.
How strange is that?
48-41 Snow Canyon beat Cedar. Identical score to this game. And 48-44, Pineview beat Dixie tonight. So all three winning teams scored
really
48.
Close games.
You
Interesting.
expect the defense to ramp up a little in region play, but
yeah,
But this is a team in Crimson that scores 64 a night, and Desert Hills averages over 55.
Yeah, I surprised really, but also not really surprised because even though they've already played some of these region ball games, now it's getting into some of those rivalry ones, right? Where, this is one of the most heated matchups in the region. I think Dixie and Pineview would have something to say about that too. But the reality is that this is one of those games that you knew it was going to be more of a slugfest than a finesse shooting performance. And really, Crimson, I think, just out-rebounded and out-hustled in a lot of ways, and just got the ball to bounce their way with some extra effort. And foul trouble was certainly a factor as Rasmussen picked up his fourth foul early in the fourth quarter. Openshaw was in foul trouble in that fourth quarter. They had to sub offense for defense for the majority of that fourth quarter. You thought maybe that was going to be a factor. It kind of was for Lindquist and Taylor. It took Lindquist out there after he'd made that three, and he kind of never really got back into sync. Came in averaging almost 15 a game, 12 below as he only goes for three. But
he did a really good job defensively tonight. Had a great couple assists. He still had an all-around good floor game.
Yeah, but
and
those
he'll
foul
trade
trouble.
the win for the stats any day of the week.
Absolutely.
And Crimson's got to be leaving this game feeling pretty good. I mean, they control their own destiny. They were picked preseason. They kind of had a little bit of a bullseye on their back. And this team has a lot of experience coming back, and this is a good win for them. This is one they can hang their hats on. Can't get too excited, and we didn't see too much exuberance as they went off the floor. Just some high fives, like more work to be done. But I like the way they finished this game out.
Yeah, I think they expected to win, and I think it's one of those things where, as a coach and as a team, if you're able to win those ugly ones, where you didn't play your best. We expected Murdoch to come in and get some points. We didn't really quite know what to expect from Carroll, as he's had a little bit of an up and down from a scoring standpoint, but always been good on ball, always been good at the little things. But this game, he came right out of that set, went left, got that first bucket, and kind of established like, hey, look, I'm gonna put some pressure. I've got the most experience on the court tonight, and I'm gonna make sure and show that. But, I think Desert Hills will be ready for these guys when they get over to the Thunderdome, and we get our Mark Musgrave on the microphone, all his antics, and we get the Thunderstruck rolling, the band rolling. That is going to be a very interesting game later in the season.
First things first, though, Crimson's got to try to go out to the Tigers Den. We know what happened to Dixie when they went out to the Tigers Den in the region opener. Although I've seen a couple different versions of Hurricane, but they look like they are going to be a factor in this Region 9 race. So that'll be the next opponent for the Mustangs to try to get to 4-0 in region play. Of course, Hurricane was here, probably scouting this game, or at least watching, getting ready for that game because they have the bye tonight.
Yeah, that'll be a fun game to watch. I'm excited that Cade and I will be calling that here on the Fan Sports Network Friday night. And this is really the meat and potatoes portion of our mill this point of the season, where they're coming fast and they're coming heavy. We got games on Tuesdays. We got games on Saturdays. This is going to be a Region 9 season like no other.
By the way, before we get some awards, Snow Canyon is at Dixie on Friday as well. So you got that game.
That could be an interesting game. I think Dixie obviously is the favorite, but
they lost tonight. But Snow Canyon maybe get a little confidence from winning over Cedar.
I think so. Maybe they've figured out a little bit. Sometimes it just takes that win to go like, okay, we can do this. I like Dixie at home in that game. I think that Crimson Hurricane game is going to be a tightly contested game. And, pretty interesting that second week of the region season, we only have 2 unbeaten teams, and they meet next week.
Yeah. Well, my prediction in our media day was nobody will go unbeaten and nobody will go winless. Now, Snow Canyon got their first region win tonight, but if I'm going to be right, I need Cedar to win one along the way.
And I think there's a good chance up at Cedar. That was at Snow Canyon tonight. Up in Cedar, that band, that environment.
I think it was at Snow Canyon tonight, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what I'm saying. So that next one will be at Cedar, and that band is going to have just such an impact, and the student section shows up there.
Ironically enough, you mentioned that all 3 home teams did win tonight.
Yeah.
So there is a little bit of home cooking tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's something to that, and I think certainly the crowd was a pro-Crimson crowd tonight with just the numbers, but that's going to flop once they go over to Desert Hills in that second matchup. And Hurricane, they've got something to be excited about. You expect their home crowd to show up, and this is their best chance in the last couple of years.
Yeah, no question. All right, let's get to some awards here inside of our Johnson Pediatric Dentistry postgame show. Appreciate Dr. Cody and staff. They make your kids always feel right at home. Got you covered with your exam, the x-rays, the cleaning, the new patient special, just $99. You can't beat that for your kids' dental needs. Book an appointment today at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry. Let's start with our Playmaker Play the Game. I'm leaning towards, and I'll give you the final say, but I'm leaning towards the steal by Carroll that led to the lay-in. About 2.5 minutes to go. I know it wasn't like final seconds, but it was a 3-point game, and I think that pushed it up to 5.
And Desert Hills had all the momentum at that point. That was a crucial play. And I love anytime that somebody makes the defensive play, they secure the ball, and they finish it. I think you got to give it to Carroll on that one.
Yeah, let's go with that as our Appliance Wholesalers Plus Playmaker Play the Game. Drake Carroll, defense leading to offense. I wish I had that highlight to replay for you, but I don't. But it was a beautiful... He caught it outside of the defensive 3-point area and then took it all the way to the rack with the right hand from the right side. Take a look at, I think the last replay we had was that foul right there. And so, unfortunately, I don't...
But that was a critical play, too, where it goes down and it gives Carroll a chance to go to the foul line. And, you know, if he misses either one of those, you know, Desert Hills has more of a shot. They came down. That one went off the back.
Yep.
And of course, they were just in a foul mode from there. But I love that play. Carroll, anytime someone goes with that offhand, you know, that's what the fundamentals of defense. We overcomplicate that. It's like jump to the ball, you know, see man and ball. Get that opposite hand in the passing lane because that way you can throw your head and put the other hand if he goes back door. There's just these fundamental things that sometimes kids make it a little too hard. In that one, I give high marks and flying colors to Drake Carroll for a great defensive play and an exceptional offensive play.
Let's take a look and appreciate AWP, the Appliance Wholesalers Plus crew. Unbelievable, longtime local sports partner. Get your GE, your Samsung washers, dryers, refrigerators, deep freezers. They have water softeners. They have the Pebble ice makers. All your appliances for new year, new appliances. Go see our friends at AWP across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart. Let's go to our Jersey Mike's sub of the game here, Ben, and then we'll save our star of the game for last. Jersey Mike's sub of the game, a sub above the rest out by a Utah Jersey Mike's. Probably closer to go to a Southern Utah Jersey Mike's and get a Mike's Way. I like the 99. It's not even on the menu. I like their hot subs.
Secret menu, yeah.
It's the chili.
I like the Big Kahuna.
It's good.
Their
I've had that a
Philly
bunch.
cheese is outstanding. I like the club.
Yep.
Getting it Mike's Way. I mean, the only thing I like about the cold subs is you get a Mike's Way, Dev.
Yep. Absolutely, with all the oil and vinegar and salt and pepper and loaded up. I'll give you the say on this. There was a couple guys that provided a little bit of a spurt off the bench tonight. Luke Terry came in, hit a 3 for the Thunder. Not a lot of bench scoring from the Mustangs. Most of the scoring came from the starting lineup tonight for the Cliffs.
Yeah, and really Crimson played a really tight contest there with Britton Phillips getting the majority of the bench minutes. Will Hokinson got in there for a second. Sands Reed only got in there for probably a minute combined.
And you said they might shorten the bench tonight. They kind of did, except for the foul trouble there for a minute.
You kind of see that in the second half. They were forced to put a couple of guys in, but you know, I think Britton had a couple of great plays there. I'm going to give that to Luke Terry. That 3 kind of came in and sparked that Desert Hills comeback in the first half. And then Britton had a couple of key plays, had an early basket. So let's go Luke Terry and for Desert Hills and Britton Phillips for Crimson.
There you go. I like that. Jersey Mike, stop by and get it Mike's Way. Let's go to our final award of the night, and that's our Finley Subaru Star Watch. And I think game high 19. I think Travis Murdoch has got to be our most obvious candidate, although you can make a pretty compelling case for Drake Carroll tonight.
Yeah, both of those guys really showed up tonight. Mason Rasmussen did a great job for Desert Hills. Ben Chase had double-digit scoring for Desert Hills as well. But at the end of the day, what I love about Travis's game tonight is not only did he have the 19 points off of a 5-point game in his last matchup, but he went 100% from the foul line. And in a close matchup like this, 48-41, 7-point ball game, and anytime you shoot 8 free throws and you go 100%, I mean, those are some critical free throws. Really, Crimson shot the foul shot exceptionally well. They only missed 4 on the night and shot a handful of those. Desert Hills actually shot the foul shot pretty well tonight as well, only missing 1. But
and that's good for Crimson because as a team coming in tonight, they were only 59%, and that's going to be valuable as we get into later in January and then, of course, into February.
Yeah, these games only get closer, right? We saw the scoring drop dramatically, almost by, probably double digits for every single team, and I think that's going to be a common thread. Especially, I think what you'll see is this first half of the year, of the matchup where they all play each other once. I think you'll see the scoring dip, and then they kind of make adjustments. They get a little more familiar. They've played each team twice or once, and then I think you'll see those scores kind of go back up into the 50s. We'll get some Holbrook a big play dessert or
big score
desserts, and I think you'll see that level out into a little bit more total.
All right, next broadcast for us will be tomorrow night. Utah Tech opens up WAC play. You and I will be over at the Burns Arena.
No nights off, baby.
UT is coming in. UT out of Texas, UT Arlington.
Yep.
And the Mavericks. And they were picked preseason number 2 in the conference. They lost their WAC opener last Saturday by 3 to Tarleton State. And Utah Tech will play Arlington tomorrow night, and then they'll play Tarleton on Saturday.
We'll have that
SUU
as well.
will flip-flop opponents with, of course, Utah Tech. They'll play Tarleton on Thursday and then switch to UT Arlington on Saturday. So, and then again, Friday, Caden Formaster, Ben Linkles will be out at the Tigers Den, Hurricane and Crimson coming up. That'll be our only high school broadcast on Friday night. Wow. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. It's been the Johnson Pediatric Dentistry Postgame Show. And it's been a privilege and an honor to bring you the coverage here in our Boulevard home. Game of the week. We'll see you next time.